I hope this is on because the circumstances are a bit different, but I think I've practiced enough that I can do this. And the timing is right, and the moment feels safe enough. And to be honest, I feel like I've done a little bit enough of a introduction. And I've thought for a couple hours how to start this, and I wasn't even planning on saying this tonight, but all of a sudden I am. So let's see, you know? I roleplayed a lot as a kid, and obviously I understand that some of it was tied to the Barbies and the way that they were used in the abuse. I get that part, but there's this in-between space, and I lived in it, and I mean, it doesn't take much to connect that I was very imaginative. All of me was to our detriment sometimes, but we could roleplay. And I think a lot of it, if any, if anybody else in this world ever loved soap operas like my family did, I mean, we lived for a storyline, we lived for a plot twist, and we lived for discussing it. But after a while, I got this feeling, and I now recognize the feeling, but even a couple weeks ago, I wouldn't have been able to tell you that I recognize this feeling. But it was a feeling of, I'm tired of watching. I'm tired of waiting for my turn, my storyline. Meanwhile, I understand that I'm the main character of my own story and all that, but just imagine how that feels to somebody who's, one, broken into pieces, put back together, but all the pieces are just as important, but all of the pieces are different in their own ways. So we're one, but we're also multiple, and sometimes we want to change, and sometimes we want to stay the same, and sometimes we only become each other's memories, and it will be damned if any piece of us ever is forgotten again. I don't need you to understand why roleplay was so important. I just need you to know that it was the reason I survived. I've joked about this with friends, so it's one of those, depending who I am to you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I guess wherever I was going was blocked because I lost that. That's, get used to that. But when I don't lose all of it, I know that it's like, okay, wait, but keep going. So I ha- I have joked about my childhood of waking up and pretending I was on the real world. Sorry, still an issue. Real world reality show. I took it very seriously, and it was not the same. It was not the drama filled. It was the opposite, which now makes more sense. But it was a family, and it was the very beginning of what ended up being Happy Place. The very first time I can remember role playing was, I had a best friend, Joey, and I wouldn't be able to even tell you the before or the after. I can just tell you the moment where somebody caught me, Joey, and Joey's grandpa in bed together. And I can remember the reaction. And I can remember who was the most mad to see history repeating, not in my family, but in Joey's. And I remember thinking that I had just, like, obviously, I must have done something really, really wrong. And, like, my best friend was probably gonna get beat for it. And I later found out, like, just why everybody was so upset. I mean, other than the obvious, but there was even more. And, I remember even then it was wild because, okay, you've all just said that, and we're just gonna keep, like, he's still, oh, right, okay. You know? It makes sense now because, mine and Joey's families were very close. And I can remember another time I was visiting my cousins, and we were playing some elaborate storyline because that was the thing. It, even the trauma was drama. Like, that's, I don't like that word, but it's, I don't know how else to say it. Even the worst abuse somehow still had a storyline to it, and it's like all of it literally had a storyline to it. Like, that, it wasn't, obviously it wasn't quite the same, but all of it was a role. I was a role in all of it, whether that be I'm literally cringing as I say this, daddy, and like I know usually, but it was because I was the biggest in the room. Like that was what was said, biggest in the room, so you can just be the masculine playing with literally whoever I was playing with, somebody not interested in me. That was the thing. I didn't like role play with, except when I dated her. But I role played with literally any. Well, okay, well, not literally anybody. That's within my safety zone. But it was like it was fun. Like that was the thing. It wasn't. I could do it by myself. I could do it just everybody else is too busy and not paying attention. So I'm in somebody's bedroom just full on storyline. That's why I say it saved my life, but it also made things a little confusing because I would speak for other people and they never said it. So I can't be mad at somebody for not living up to what they said. They didn't say it. I said it for them. And I was saying a lot, which is wild, right? But in roleplay, I could say whatever I wanted. But then things changed because roleplay is okay. So obviously, that context of roleplay was a little different, and I, I mean, but just the roleplay, like just all of it. It was fake. I mean, roleplay, it was fantasy. And I wanted real. I wanted somebody actually saying that to me, you know? Like, I don't want to say that to myself. And obviously, it paid off in some ways, but not in the ways that, like, but roleplay was like a way to make things make sense, whether it be that kind or the other kind. Like, in the moment, nothing ever made sense to me. The more scarier the moment, the less it made sense to me. But now I understand how much my need for touch was used against me. And now I understand how much my need for a storyline, need for meaning, need for a role. I get how it was used against me now. Really, all of it, but of varying priority as far as severity. But I wonder what would have happened if I hadn't. Like, if I hadn't ever gone into like, would I don't know, it's such a stark contrast because people assume like I've been in drama or something in school. Like I didn't do any of it. I didn't do any of it. I just spent the whole time taking care of my brothers and running from men. And here's the thing, not even my, my monster was always looming. Don't get me wrong. But it was like my monster was judging all of the other monsters I was surrounded. Like, that's a bit of a mind fuck, huh? My monster judging the other monsters for being pathetic. Other people's monsters fighting my monster. I mean, that freaking sucks. Our own brother. Don't get me wrong. His monster, if he told you, I'd be on his side. It was messed up. But then that same monster was the only reason that my monster didn't get farther than he did. How's that fair? I get that none of these audios are gonna make any, they're not gonna, but isn't that how it is with all of us? And I'm going against I'm really going against the rule. I'm not supposed to. But they knew when they did this. They knew when they gave me this. I don't I don't like rules. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's like, hey guys, I used to roleplay, guys. I don't know what this is, but this feels really. Just saying, you can't do anything about me roleplaying. No, I could tell you all the different scenarios, but like they don't matter. Because like, what are you gonna do? But I don't know. I guess just like it feels like a way, like for all the time that nobody knew. Maybe me saying it means something. Either that or just my voice will live on the internet forever. I lost my voice twice, guys. Like probably more than that if we're thinking like little minuscule, but like two where I mean, man, that book cover was something else, right? And it's like, would you believe that snake around the neck? Dang. All of a sudden it just like it looked different. And it's like when you realize how heavy you are and you wonder like how like could I be? Like obviously I understand, not like in the clouds, but remember at the beginning the stained glass thing? Well, it's like you would assume if you polished all of it it would look really pretty when the sunlight was coming through, right? Versus being like one of them's like really smudged. Maybe I should turn this off. This is completely different context, so now I'm like, what if it turned off? I don't know. I'll probably edit all this out. Oh, it's still going. Oh. There were a couple times that I roleplayed with, like, with a friend, and it wasn't that kind, and it was just I guess with like normal kids, it's just normal play. I don't know. It's everything's a little skewed for me, but just normal play, not those kind of games, not other kind of games, just playing. I had a lot of fun with that, but it makes me sad because sometimes I think like, who started the role playing back then? Like genuinely, nothing malicious. That's the thing. It's the interpretation I'm going with here. I'm not trying to say that like all these kids are like targeting or anything. Like we were all having so much fun and we loved each other so much. And I guess now I just realized that like maybe there was just a lot more hurt kids than I originally thought, because obviously I understand who was like, I'm good, and who was like, hey, I'll be mommy.